Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Business Growth Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Maria Fontana, your favorite intuitive business consultant and growth strategist. And today I have an amazing guest, the beautiful Nickiwildflower, who is something I've been following her for a while. I love what she's doing. Thanks, Nix, for coming. So why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and your magic and what you're doing in the world?
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. And I'm happy to be here. I have a studio on Long Island, New York, where I mostly do hair color. I started my studio in 2017 and I had no clients when I started my studio because I had spent the previous 7 years living in Colorado. So all of my clients were in Colorado. I came here and I was like, you know what? I'm done working for other people. I wanted to work for myself. And I knew that that was a big risk, not having any clientele, but I actually filled up my books within 6 months completely. Like I just had the mindset. I was like, nothing is going to stop me. I would write in my journal every day and put down, you know, I I'm so busy with new clients that I can't even handle it, that type of thing. And I would write it over and over, and I would just imagine that that's how it was. And my books filled up so fast. But then it's good. Then it filled up so fast that I was completely bombarded and I didn't know why I wanted to be bombarded. I was like, why did I write that stuff down?
That's called manifesting. You really worked on your mindset and you brought in energy, which is super important that so many people don't know to incorporate into co-creating like the success we want, right?
I'm all about manifesting. I really like mindset is probably, so that's something that I teach as well, mindset, because I think before even technique, that has to come first. Because if that's not right, you can be the most talented person in the entire world. And if you don't have that working for you, then you're not going to be able to do anything with that talent. Like mindset is going to win over talent every day of the week.
Right. So there's a lot of people listening, and I found this over in my career because I teach a lot of mindset in my consulting business to salon owners. And a lot of people just don't even know what mindset means. So how about you share your take? Like like someone listening would be like, well, what are they talking about? Like, what is this mindset thing? So in like real people terms, like simplified, share with them what the mindset means and how it does change your business.
Yeah. So for me, mindset, it comes down to a few different things, but I like to focus on number one, confidence. And just because when you have confidence, you take action. So when you have confidence in yourself as a business person, as a human being,
Mhm.
as in your art, you will take action and make big things happen and you'll take risks because you have to take risks to be successful. But if you don't have confidence, you're not going to take those risks. Um, and it's also about being in a mindset where you're not thinking about scarcity all the time and not having enough, but like thinking about being abundant and that the world is plentiful, that kind of thing. So it's all about gratitude. There's so many different things that go into it, but I would say first and foremost for me, having just unwavering confidence in your ability to make stuff happen is huge. And also just there's so many, I mean, we could go on for like 3 years
Oh,
talking about
absolutely.
mindset.
Absolutely. I'm going to say my biggest thing, I always tell people what you think about, you bring about. And at any given moment in time, I don't give a shit where you came from. You can change that at any time, right? So let's talk about like your magic. You've got a hell of an Instagram feed. I follow you on Instagram. I absolutely love your work style. I love what you do. Tell me how you evolved to create. You're a business mogul because then you have the Slice Squad membership. So tell everyone
Mhm.
about that and you know your vision, how you created all of this.
Yeah, so the way that the Slice Squad developed is the weirdest thing because if you would have asked me like 5 years ago if I was going to be an educator, I would have said no. I was
Mhm,
like, no, I just want to create people. I just want to create. I just want to create. I don't want all of that.
mhm,
Um, and it really just kind of happened because I started posting. So I started posting videos because what happened was I was working at this point because I had filled up my book so quickly. I was working like 6 days a week, 12-hour days, and all of the big color transformations that I was doing were taking me like 5, 6 hours. And I didn't
mhm.
have the time that I needed to, and I didn't want to double book because I had done that all of my career and it really stressed me out. And I really wanted to change that and be able to give my clients one on one attention and not have an assistant in my little space. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So what I did was I was like, there has to be easier ways to get this stuff done. So I'm like totally so pro shortcuts and cutting corners when all that matters is that the end result is good. And a lot of
I'm
people
with
just
you.
can't, yeah, that can't jump over that mindset that everything has to be done so meticulously. So I started working on my saturation, taking bigger sections, um, slicing instead of weaving, and doing root smudges, blurring out lines, that kind of thing. And my color transformations were now taking like 3 hours instead of 5. So I started sharing those things on Instagram, my videos. And because some of them looked so outlandish when I do the slices, and then people
Mhm,
are like, what is she doing? That looks
mhm.
horrible. And then they're like, oh, wait, that looks good at the end. And so I think a lot of it was the shock factor. But then I just really started developing even like just so many different techniques that people could use to work faster behind the chair. And and at this point we're doing like, people in my slice squad are doing color transformations in like 2 hours from start to finish. That's how much it's evolved in um, the time that I've been doing it. And I just saw a need for hairstylists, that because not everybody, a lot of times we watch these educators, and there's nothing wrong with this at all. Like
No, right.
we're we're all artists, and we all have our own way, and we all have our own business models. So I'm not speaking down on this at all, but we'll watch educators and they take 10 hours to do something, but they also have 2 assistants helping them along the way. And they're taking on like 4 clients at a time. And that's not a realistic business model for a lot of people, or
Right.
even what they want. So I just saw this big need in the market um, that I was able to fulfill with some different techniques. And next thing you know, I started putting out a digital course because a lot of people had been asking me questions. So I put out a digital course. I hired a web developer to do that for me. And then I just decided, because people wanted more, more, more after they watched that first course. I was like, maybe this stuff is more of like an exercise than it is like you're going to learn one time and then go on. Like you
It's
have to
like a
feed your brain.
development. Right, right.
Mhm. You have to feed your brain every day with new information, and keep educated and keep motivated. So I turned it into a membership. And the first day I started my membership, it crashed because
Which is a
I
good
was like,
thing.
yeah, it was so fun. It totally crashed, and it just like wasn't working, and it was so stressful. And now it's just grown into this incredible thing. I've had thousands of stylists go through the Slice Squad. I currently have over 1,300 active members, and I put out new content every month, like 2 new or 3 new classes per month. I do 1 live for my members. We've got all 3 different categories. We have time saving techniques, mindset and business, and the other category is quick fixes. So if you need something quick, like I'm having trouble formulating my smudge, you can go to that section of the
I love it. It
membership.
sounds like such an immense value. And I mean, like I said, I've been following your work a long time, and I really know you're amazing. You do such great work. So on the end of, because this is something that I hold really dear to my heart, and this is more what I do in my business. Let's talk to our salon professionals about how they, what's your thoughts, and share with them about being open-minded to creating a business empire. Like that's the need I filled. I saw so many salon owners or amazing professionals, and I'm not saying stop doing hair. I'm saying have a plan B. And there was never a truer time than when COVID hit, that I had a
Hmm.
plan B, and I was making money from my consulting business. And I'm sure you were doing fine from your Slice Squad because you have an
Yeah.
amazing membership. So let's talk about, maybe shifting mindsets and thinking about us not just being the hairdresser or that amazing colorist, but adding that plan B and expanding and scaling our practices to, I say, packaging up your magic like you did and creating a coaching consultancy or membership, business that is on
Absolutely.
autopilot, really, no matter what's happening in the world. That's what I would say. You're sharing your magic, right?
Absolutely.
So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I love it. And I think that there's so many different ways outside of just being behind the chair, because obviously it is hard on our bodies. And over time,
Mhm.
that becomes more and more difficult. And your priorities change as you get older for a lot of people. I think there are so many different ways that you can make money outside of just being behind the chair.
Mhm.
And I don't think that many people really even think about that, or maybe they do, but they don't know how to go about it. So, yeah, just like you said, being open to the different possibilities is really cool. There's always just teaching people to do what you do is a huge one. Teaching people to grow their businesses is a huge one, and coaching them through it. Investing your money wisely. So I just talked about this in my membership, investing your money wisely so that it gains compounding interest and you're letting your money make money for you. And because a lot of times too, hairstylists don't save for retirement because
right.
we didn't have that option. And I wish I knew that I could invest in my own retirement earlier and that all of that stuff could gain compounding interest and my money would keep making money. Affiliate marketing is a huge one that people could utilize, even like my Slice Squad membership, for example. My members have the option, if they want to be affiliates, that they could recommend the membership to other people with their own link, and they get 30% recurring revenue off of that.
Which is great. There's so many opportunities, so many.
There's so many. Even I am an affiliate for Zero Time System brushes, which are they're awesome. So I'm an affiliate for them, and all I do is say there's a link to the brushes in my bio. That's like a huge extra income for me.
Yeah, it really is. And you're just really sharing what you like already. Like I have that too. Like I'll share like some of the platforms I use. I'll share some of the products I use and people take your word because now they know, like, and trust you, right? So it's totally amazing. So if you were to, I guess, one thing to all stylists, I'm going to say young, old, because there's a lot of seasoned stylists, like in my age group, who need to reinvent themselves, okay? Or they need to, step up their game or maybe create that second business, or a lot of younger stylists who might be feeling a little jaded and really scared right now. What's your one piece of advice to everybody, no matter where they are on that journey?
I would say that's so hard. For people, I guess, no matter where they are in their journey, my one piece of advice would be like, it's okay to make mistakes and to fail. It is okay to not be perfect all the time. And as long as you're able to kind of brush it off and learn from it and not let it hinder your confidence moving forward, like that, mistakes are absolutely inevitable. Failure is inevitable, but you have to keep your goal in mind and not get sidetracked from that goal. So you can change the way that you get to that goal, but don't change the goal.
Totally. I totally agree with that. So I'm going to put, anybody who's listening, if you're listening to the podcast, I'm going to put how to connect with Nikki and how to get on the Slice Squad. I can tell you, I've seen what she does. I endorse it. I use her techniques. I still am behind the chair a few days a week simply because I love it. And they're going to be down in the show notes. And if you're watching this on YouTube, they're also going to be in description. Nick, so before we, close up today, what would you like to share with everyone? Because this is a global podcast. It's going to be globally on YouTube. And I know so many people follow you. We'll also throw the links where you could follow her on Instagram and all that good stuff. It's going to be all in the show notes so you can stay connected.
Absolutely. So for those of you who are watching, I am running a $1 trial. So if you just want to try out the Slice Squad membership for a week, you can do that for $1 and you could cancel anytime you want. Most people don't cancel. Most people stay, just disclaimer. But you can just try it out and make sure that you love it first. And then I also have like other educational resources, time-saving tips in my Instagram bio. You could join my Facebook group, Nickiwildflower Education. There's 12.4 thousand people in there, and it's probably one of the most supportive hairstyling communities.
I have to join that. As soon as we get off of this, I'm going to join. I didn't even realize that was on Facebook. All right.
It is such a great community. So those are the things. And I want everybody to know that anything is freaking possible. 5 years ago, I had nothing to my name, nothing. And it's changing my mindset has transformed my entire life, and it's beyond my wildest dreams, and it keeps getting better. So you could, I love that. Anything is possible. And I know you're right in that same mindset with me. So it's really good to connect with a kindred spirit.
Oh, I love kindred spirit, good energy, high vibe. So guys, for all of you who are listening, just remember, stay connected, listen to your intuition. always be open to change and shifting your mindsets at any time. I don't care if you're 17 or you're 70, you can shift your mindset anytime, which Nikki's proof, I'm proof. You can reinvent yourself, and you can create anything you want in your life. Nick, I am so honored that I talked to you today. I think you're awesome. For anyone who wants to connect with Nikki or myself, everything's going to be below or above, depending where the show notes are on this podcast. And I want you guys to all share out Business Growth Made Easy. We are supporting salon professionals and shifting mindsets globally. So thanks for coming, Nick. I totally appreciate it. It was an amazing, amazing interview.
Oh, it was so good to connect with you. Thank you for having me.